Kobe Bryant has been out of the league for over a year now, but his influence is still spreading to the NBA's best young stars. Here's Kobe's definition of what the Mamba mentality is. Mamba mentality is a constant quest to find answers. It's that infinite curiosity to want to be better, to figure things out. Mamba mentality is you're competing, you're not worried about the end result. You're not worried about what people may say, you're not worried about disappointing others, you're not worried about any of that. You're just focused on being in the moment. That's what Mamba mentality truly is. That definition is pretty broad and fits a number of players. The title says players with the Mamba mentality, but I can't fit everything in the title. The thumbnail also says NBA players that are disciples of Kobe. Here's the criteria for my choices. Almost every player on here has somewhat rounded their game around Kobe. Also, these players have been co-signed by Kobe. They got the Kobe Bryant stamp of approval. They also have a similar mindset to the game of basketball, or they've gotten challenged by Kobe to get better in certain ways. So a combination of all of those things factored into my list of the NBA players who should be on here. Make sure you watch the whole list of players and my explanations. If you think someone else should be on here that isn't, let me know, or even someone who shouldn't be on here. I believe every player I talk about here fits the criteria I listed. So kick back, because I think this is going to be my longest video on my channel. So let's try to hit 750 likes in the first day on this video again and go into player number 1. I had to start the list with the most obvious player on here and the man in the thumbnail, Kyrie Irving. For one, Kyrie Irving is a huge Kobe Bryant fan. He grew up idolizing the Black Mamba, and Kobe's his favorite player of all time. The first person that Kyrie Irving FaceTimed in the locker room right after Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals was Kobe Bryant. During that year's playoffs, him and Kobe would talk a lot, but not as much during the finals because Kyrie wanted to lock in with no distractions. Kobe would still sometimes send him a text. Just a few weeks ago, Kyrie dropped a special edition of his Kyrie 3 sneakers honoring Kobe Bryant. You get the gist, he's a huge fan. Their friendship started back in 2012 when 20-year-old Kyrie challenged Kobe to a one-on-one before the start of the Olympics. Kyrie says that nobody will ever be able to be like Kobe, but he tries to emulate him. Kobe was the first person that Kyrie called on the phone to talk about his knee problems he was going through in the 2015 playoffs. Kyrie was in a terrible mental space because he knew he couldn't be as effective on offense, and Kobe talked to him about how Tom Thibodeau's Bulls were going to defend him. Kyrie's clutch shot making and scoring ability has helped Cleveland win playoff games and final games that is very Kobe-esque. If you remember in Game 7 of the 2016 Finals, he started off slow. When he was sizing up Steph Curry in the final minute of Game 7 of the 2016 Finals and made a three-point shot to go up by 3, all I was thinking in the back of my mind was Mamba mentality. Let's go into player number 2. One of the more interesting NBA player developments of the last 3 seasons is Kawhi Leonard's. His jump from a defensive specialist that gets his points within the flow of the Spurs offense to now a guy you can give the ball to in one-on-ones to get buckets in clutch scenarios. He went from shooting 25% on three-point shots during his college career to 44% on threes in 2016. That's a huge jump. Kawhi's clutch scoring down the stretch in that Game 4 loss against the Memphis Grizzlies in this year's playoffs is a game you can look back at and say, wow, this is a huge jump from where he was at 3 years ago. He went up to 25 points per game this year. All season long, Kawhi was hitting fadeaway jumpers, leaning jumpers, driving to the rim. Kawhi's ball handling skills hasn't reached Kobe's level yet, but he still finds creative ways to get himself open. His offensive scoring style has some Kobe flavor to it, and it might be because before the start of the 2017 season, a Spurs assistant coach had Kawhi look at pictures and watch hours of film of Kobe Bryant's shooting form. The Spurs and Kobe have had their battles in the past, but Popovich and Kobe have mutual respect for each other. Popovich asked Kobe to mentor Kawhi back in 2016. Pop wanted Kobe to stay in touch with Kawhi and just be in his ear. Obviously, Kawhi's demeanor is very different from Kobe's, but read this quote from Kawhi about him taking on the pressure of being the #1 guy every night and tell me this is not something Kobe would say. You've just got to keep going. If you play bad or go 0 for 10 in the fourth, whatever, you've just got to keep pounding and going and not give up if you want to become that guy. And check this quote from Popovich about Kawhi not being afraid of handling the responsibility of being the team's #1 option. You think of Kobe, you think of LeBron, you think of Michael, and you think of all of these guys that had to do it. They got to the point where they realized the shot wasn't going to go down all the time, or they might even turn it over, but they come right back. They don't shy away the next time. They want it again. Kawhi has that knack, he has that ability, and that's very important because very, very few people have that. If that isn't Mamba mentality, then I do not know what is. Number 3 on the list, we got Russell Westbrook, and Westbrook got one of the best compliments you could ever get from Kobe. Speaking with CBS Sports, Kobe said that Russell Westbrook is the only NBA player today that matches the same competitive intensity as him. The only player. Kobe says he turns on the NBA League Pass and watches different players. He says he appreciates that Russell goes hard against whoever he is up against. It doesn't matter what the odds are, Russell's going 110% every single time. Westbrook definitely has that same determination and drive Kobe has. Kobe even went on Twitter to defend Westbrook when a reporter asked Russell whether he was hunting for assists when going after the triple-double record. And Kobe hardly ever tweets, so this is cool to read. Kobe said he averages a triple-double for the season, and this is the kind of question he gets. Silly. They also have a similar work ethic before the start of a season. Former Lakers assistant coach Steve Clifford saw how daily 6 a.m. workouts in August helped Kobe prepare for the long 82-game NBA season, and Clifford said that Westbrook has similar conditioning and intensity to sustain that excellence late into a season. Steve Clifford said, "I was in that gym and his workouts are legendary. He's a terrific athlete, but I think he's got an incredible work ethic and drive. You put that together and he can handle a big burden." Averaging a triple-double, Russ was able to push the Thunder to 47 wins. The combination of Russell Westbrook's mindset on and off the court, plus his competitiveness, definitely earns him a spot on this list of someone who has the Mamba mentality. On Jimmy Kimmel this past May, Paul George said that he plans to work out with Kobe and hopes to pick his brain. The entire George family are Kobe fans, and Kobe is their favorite player in the house, not PG. Like most players on here, PG grew up idolizing Kobe. Everything Kobe did on the court, Paul George tried to copy as a kid. He used to shoot hoops in his front yard, counting down the shot clock from 3 and yell Kobe. In Kobe's final game against the Pacers, Paul George had a point total he wanted to go after. Honestly, try to go for 82 points. PG also got some advice from Kobe on how he should play on offense. Here's what Kobe said to him. "Man, you being a big guard, I think it's important now for you to take these guys to the post and learn how to operate and how to score in the post." He told me that's one thing in the playoffs that he and Jordan became great at, is scoring from the block and being one step away from the rim. And let's not forget, when the Pacers were trailing by 1 in Game 1 of this year's playoffs against Cleveland, he let his frustrations out about not getting the last shot after he was double-teamed and had to pass out to CJ Miles. PG shot 47% in clutch situations this past year, ranking behind guys like CJ McCollum, LeBron James, DeMar DeRozan. Paul George wants the ball in the clutch just like Kobe did. Devin Booker's 70 points against the Boston Celtics this past March were the most points scored in an NBA game since Kobe Bryant scored 81 against the Toronto Raptors in 2006. His ability to create space when driving or operating in the pick and roll looked like prime Kobe. He definitely watched Kobe film in his life. Even though the Suns were getting beat the whole night, Booker just kept coming down the court and getting the team back as close as he could. And who did Booker shout out after the 70-point game? Kobe Bryant. Devin said that he saw an interview with Kobe where Kobe talked about what separated him from a lot of people. Kobe said he never set himself a limit, and that always sticks in Devin Booker's head. Since Kobe said he did not have a limit, Devin now does not put a limit on anything. He wants to be the best. In Kobe's last game against the Phoenix Suns, Kobe praised Booker to the media. Here's what Kobe said about Devin using his move on him. "I mean, he went straight to my move the first time he caught it. You're not going to beat me on my own move, man, but it was great to see. It was absolutely great to see because I remember I did the same thing to MJ. Also, in that last game in Phoenix, he signed Devin Booker's sneakers with a note, "Be legendary." Retired NBA player Matt Bonner tweeted that the only question we should be asking ourselves is if Kobe Bryant will now officially denominate Isaiah Thomas as the mini Mamba. Kobe responded with, "Nope, he plays with Mamba mentality, but he is now and forever will be known as the mighty IT." One of the few NBA players Kobe watches during the season is Isaiah Thomas. They kept in touch a lot in 2017 when the Bulls were up 2-1 on the Celtics this past postseason. IT realized he needed some help, so he decided to send Kobe game film of Game 2 and Game 3 to see if he can get some advice from a player he idolized. Kobe responded and watched the entire clip IT sent him, and they talked on the phone for a while about how the Bulls defense was playing him and the different ways IT should look to score going forward. I mean, that's wild. How many NBA players can just send Kobe game film and he'll respond immediately? Watch the clips, break them down with you on the phone. Isaiah's NBA journey has been crazy. Now let me know if you heard about this IT and Kobe story. This quote right here was the first piece of advice Kobe gave to Isaiah. He told IT to act like a lion. Kobe says he imagines himself as a lion when he's going out to get his food. There's so many bugs and gnats that are on him, and he doesn't let it distract him. IT ranked second in the NBA this past season in fourth quarter scoring behind Russell Westbrook. Even through all the double teams Isaiah saw all season, he was still able to drop close to 30 points per game and get the Celtics to the conference finals. He definitely has the Mamba mentality. Another player on the list that grew up idolizing Kobe Bryant, DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan grew up about 15 miles south of the Staples Center, learning how to play like Kobe at his nearby park. DeMar was 7 years old when the 1997 playoffs were on, and he said he wanted to cry when Kobe shot a number of air balls in an overtime loss against the Jazz. He met Kobe when he was 16 at a summer run at Loyola Marymount, and Bryant was a fan of his play style and offered him lots of advice. As a teenager, DeRozan began studying every Bryant move he could and said he did all he could to make his game like Kobe's. I'd watch him growing up, I'd watch Kobe do everything. His shot, his footwork, how he works in the post, everything growing up was Kobe. And you can just see it on the court how much his play style is like Kobe's. DeMar knows how to play with his back to the basket and he likes to pull up from mid-range. His footwork on offense is amazing, and it's gotten praise from Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Durant has said recently on a podcast that he just watches DeRozan film for his footwork so he can get better. DeRozan doesn't have the three ball or defensive ability that Kobe has, but on offense, DeMar is a student of Mamba Mentality University. Check out DeRozan's clutch shooting numbers. DeRozan ranked 4th in clutch shooting percentage this past season, only ranked behind Harrison Barnes, LeBron, and CJ McCollum. Damian Lillard and Kobe have been showing mutual respect to each other since Lillard's rookie season. When the Lakers beat Portland in April 2013, Dame scored 38 points, and Kobe tweeted out right after the game, "Lillard is the real deal, #Mamba salute." And it's definitely noteworthy if you're getting shoutouts from Kobe when you are a rookie. Lillard was a Kobe fan growing up, and someone on Twitter asked who was Dame's favorite player as a kid. He said LeBron, but he was more obsessed with Kobe. If you're an NBA fan, you know Damian's playstyle. He is an amazing scorer. He wants to take that clutch shot in the fourth quarter. Plus his mindset on and off the court is very Kobe-like. He just goes out and hoops. When someone asked Lillard if he would do something similar to Kevin Durant and team up with other stars, Lillard said there's nothing wrong with it, but he himself has way too much pride for that. Dame said he's too much of a competitor and it's more fun taking down the monsters of the league. Lillard is one of the few players that gets a lot of praise from Kobe. When Kobe was dealing with a fractured leg back in 2014, NBA fans were still voting Kobe into the All-Star game. But Kobe did not want his fans to vote him in and told them to vote for Damian Lillard instead. Let's go into the next player who you guys might disagree with, but you gotta listen to the explanation first. Okay, so if you made it this far to the video, Steph Curry possibly is the most unconventional pick on the list, and probably will be the one player on here that gets some question, but if you're going to disagree, check out this Kobe quote first. In an interview on ESPN before the 2016 finals, he was asked about which player has the Kobe instinct, and Kobe said there's a few players who have it, but he specifically mentioned he gets a kick out of watching Golden State play because you assume Steph and Klay Thompson are nice and calm guys on the court, but he says Steph and Klay are stone cold on the court. Kobe says that Steph and Klay do not care about what you think of them. They don't care about if they make the game-winning shot or miss it. They're out there to do their job. They have a strong sense of the Kobe instinct. Steph has helped the Warriors get to 3 straight NBA Finals, and his production does not happen unless he is laser focused on and off the floor, taking basketball very seriously. When Curry played rough down the stretch in the 2016 NBA Finals, a moment like that where you blow a chance to win back-to-back titles could have possibly altered his career, but he did not let one series affect him, and he bounced back in a huge way in the 2017 Finals, averaging 26 points on 44% shooting. Not to mention he had 2 10-rebound games in that Finals. That was just wild. I expect some people to disagree, but if Kobe is telling me that Steph has the Kobe instinct, then Steph is going to be on the list. Now, if there's any player on here who plays least similar to Kobe on this list, it's definitely Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's a 6'11" point guard. Kobe issued a challenge on Twitter to a number of athletes, and he had one for Giannis. Kobe challenged Giannis to win the 2018 MVP. Giannis took a major leap forward this year in his development. He is the first NBA player ever to finish top 20 in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks, and he's just 22. Like many NBA players, Giannis looked at Kobe as his idol growing up in Greece. Back in 2016, Giannis wasn't even sure if Kobe knew who he was, but Kobe had high praise for him after a game against the Bucks and said, "Giannis is unbelievable. I don't think he understands how much talent he has." Kobe also had more challenges for the Greek Freak back in 2016. He said if he wanted to be a great player, he needed to take 1,000 shots a day in the summer. Kobe said he sagged off Giannis in their game because he wanted to test his ability to shoot. Giannis said that he's going to raise that number to 1,500 shots in the summer. Kobe also stressed to him that he wasn't messing around about Giannis needing to get serious about his game. Kobe said he needed to get serious about basketball until the day he retires. Again, different style of play between the two, but mindset-wise, Giannis definitely has it, and he's gotten the Kobe cosign. And that's it for NBA players with the Mamba mentality. This might be my longest video or close to it. I'm not really sure, so shout out to you if you made it this far, because most people do not make it to the end. I definitely think it's cool that so many players model their game after Kobe. He's a legend, and I'm sure in the future you'll be able to add more guys to this video. Kobe's influence reaches far. Let me know if I should have had another player on here, so I'll see you guys in my next video on Sunday.